I'm going to give you guys an overview on how I use Voltek. First of all, Voltek has been absolutely exceptional over the past few weeks since we opened it. We're going to go over the volt nodes, the surge nodes, the reversal nodes, and just kind of dive into all of that right here. So, first of all, let's go over to a couple of things that work today on the reversals. Then we'll go over what these nodes really mean, how I use the scanner, and how I have not lost a swing trade yet since we opened the site in the past 3 weeks. First of all, a volt node is a node where it's the busiest price on the board. It basically acts like a magnet. Realistically, positive gamma is much better for this. And usually when you get into positive gamma, it gets sticky, price gets stickier. It's a more controlled price. And when you get to these nodes, like we did today on SPYs, SPX, QQQ, usually kind of chop around and sit there. You could ask VolTick for any of this, by the way. Read this, these are just questions that pop up. You could type in what is the volt, and it's going to give you exactly these answers. This is a tool bot that has absolutely helped many traders, including myself. Again, the whole reason I made this site is for simplicity. I want people to understand what they're looking at and be able to use that as confluence for their trades. Okay, so next thing we have here is, let's go over some trades that we had this week. Okay, so PL is a trade that I had this week. And the reason I got this trade was off of the scanner, which we'll go into in a few minutes here. Looking at just this week's expiration, we had a $33 volt and a $33.50 surge. Surge is where we're usually getting the volume of that day or that week. So it kind of adds into possible confluence with Volt, especially if it's priced around the same area. We have a $30 reversal node. Again, in positive gamma, you look for this to be slow down and turn back. So this would be your support, $30. And you have room to the upside into 33 and 33 and a half. We took a trade on this at $27.30 on Friday. It is up $16.70 today. And the reason why I took this trade specifically, and this is exactly what a lot of people have been asking me, how do I use Voltek? Is I'm looking at a screener, which I'm going to pop up in a minute here, and I'm looking at multiple confluence over the next few weeks. You have volts higher on all 3 weeks here, and you can see the volt and the surge that we just added today, off of a couple of requests actually. And you can see all the volts are higher here over the next 3 weeks. So I look for 2 to 3 weeks of confluence to also take my trades or just, give me a better idea of what the true direction should be and where we can magnetize towards. Another trade that I did this week was SE. And now, because we're a little bit higher, it doesn't look that great anymore. We took this trade around $88. The chart was looking beautiful. We were looking for upside. We had the volt at 100. We had the secondary volt at 95 and the third volt at 92.5. So at our 88 level, we are already looking at, at least $4 upside, magnetized possibly. And even on 724, we had a 95 volt. Now, keep this in mind. We went from 88 to 95 today. Let's see exactly where we went. We hit, just about 95, 94.85. Again, another around 40% trade here. Very nice and clean. And this was up over 6% on the day. So let's go into the scanner here and let me show you how I use these settings. So again, what I look for is I want to put it on COM or positive gamma. I'm looking for 5% away. I'm looking at full expiration within the next 3 months. I personally want to skip the monthly OPEX. It kind of just gets all the possible hedging out of the way too. And then look at stacking it higher and or lower, depending on what I see here. Now, what I want to do is also I want to look for nodes that are growing. Something that interests me today was, DRAM. This was a perfect one. And this is actually a swing that I'm in now. So this is a swing that I'm in now. This is DRAM. And the reason for this trade, again, same exact setup here. First of all, we had a nice reversal in coil node, 2 key supports here at 68 and 69. We actually did hold that today. You have upside into the surge at 75 for this week, and then the volt at 80. You have, if you pull this up again, 85 and 80 for the next week, and then 80 and 75 for the next week. So again, from where we are right now, we have about $4 to $9 of upside at least, if we magnetize towards those levels, and it really looks like we are. You look at the chart of this as well, pretty clean. Pull this up right off the 21 EMA, and having a nice bounce. Look for a move into that 75 area, look to trim it out, and just leave runners for more upside. Again, this is how I use Voltek. It has been absolutely exceptional for me. I'm 22 wins and 4 losses. I'm 22 for 26 since we opened the site up. Uh, the feedback that we've gotten is absolutely exceptional. I'm so happy to, truly see how this tool has revolutionized some people's trading and, added so much confidence to what they're looking at. Another quick thing I want to do here is that the charts. This is something that a lot of people are loving. You pull up the charts here, you can customize, the dark pool levels, the node levels, how it opens up here, the gamma levels. You could add more gamma levels if you want, so you could see all of them. You could lower it down. You could have 2 charts, 4 charts. You can compact it so you don't see this. Oh, where is it? I already have it compacted. That's why. You can compact it so you don't see this information if you don't want to, and you would just want to see the charts because you already have it on the chart, or you could take it away. So again, very simple. This is a feature that is absolutely beloved by the community. Very clean. Again, something else, multi, you could have up to 4. I just like to have all the indexes, SPX, SPY, NDX, and QQQ. And there's so much more in here. You can go to the replay, you can check it the past, couple of days. You can look at the upcoming dates on how those have moved. You can do compact. You can do charts and the levels for openings and closings and highs. And you could go back over 10 days. Other than that, I mean, you could set price alerts just by even clicking on a node. You're going to be able to get all this information. It gives you the history, it gives you expectations from prior, how much the node has moved. You can compare it to other nodes. You can set alerts on it. Very plain and simple. We have initial balance. We have options flow and dark pool flow. And then you could learn about every single thing about Gamma, Vanna, Vex, anything. We have all this written out here. You click on one of these, it's going to tell you everything in clean, simple language. Our whole goal, again, was simplicity. We want people to understand what they are looking at and how they can actually use it and benefit from it. We have visuals, we have examples, and right after this, you're going to see this video also on there. Again, very simple. You can go to here, the features. It's also going to explain other things, and it's going to let you actually bring you to those specific spots of the site so you can actually look and use those. Other than that, I mean, it is pretty clean and easy. If you ever have any questions, we are always have top tier support. We try to answer as soon as possible. It's usually within minutes. Other than that, I mean, if you guys have any questions, always feel free to ask. We are doing a July 4th sale currently. 35% off first 2 months automatically applied. Yeah, just wanted to basically do a clean, quick overview and go from there. Lastly, you could click the guide. It'll walk you through the board and everything. Tell you everything you need to know about VolTick. Very plain, simple, easy. And again, that is our goal.